Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, February the 17th. The year's 2026. Let's talk trading. When you are really trading. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. As always, have your risk management in place so you don't lose more than you're willing to lose while you are trading. So, when are you really trading? I came up with a quote the other day. Trading is the action you take when price moves against you. Now, if you think about it, I mean, as I've mentioned in many videos, when you're trading and you, let's see, and when price goes your way, um, it's is it really trading? I mean, you click the mouse, price moves your way, you click the mouse, you take profit. But once again, every win is luck because you don't control the outcome. But what happens when you're really trading, when you're actually, really getting in the game, is when you enter a trade and it moves against you. That's when you really have to, you know, you have to control what you can control. Your emotions, big one, and hopefully you got in with the right position size, and then you just have to see what price does from there. Then maybe you add to it. I mean, I've been a green rat all day, and it's like I get in, I get out with a profit, then all of a sudden it goes against me, and then what happens? I have to start trading. I add in. I wait for opportunities to add in. Then I add in. And the thing is, you've got to take the action because if you just sit there passively, you're not really trading. Sometimes you have to sit there and wait, but there's a difference between passive waiting and active waiting. I mean, are you calculating? Are you looking for entries? Are you paying attention to where your average price is? There's just so much, so much. So, I mean, when you really think about it, that's when you're really trading. And and the thing is, you really have to focus on the process, your method. You really can't focus on what the price is doing per se because you don't control the price. And it's funny because I was trading with Airball earlier, and I had said somewhere when it dropped below 25, I think it was down around 20, I said, this thing wants to go down to the double O. But for some strange reason, I didn't read my own press release and I went long. It's kind of funny, but there's just so many things you can do when you're in that situation to mitigate it. You might decide, you know what, this is a lost cause. I got to get out of this trade. Or you might, you look at the price action score like right here, and it's just like, wow, there should be an opportunity to go long. And then look what happens. It went against you. So now it's like, what do? You wait. And on the other hand, there's a couple times where I think a price had hit right here and I was long and I didn't take the trade even though that, dynamic resistance came in, it gave me another opportunity, and I think I got out here. I gave back a couple pips. And I think there was another place where I think the same thing happened. Because when you're up, you know, it's not as emotionally taxing. But when you're down, I mean, oh man. And, I was looking at these M30 candles. And if you look here, this was like the only cover right here. You can see here, there was a nice short in this account. It was the other account I was trading in, but yeah, I got out there. That was really nice. But you can see here, we've got, look at all these on the M30. You've got a price action count of 10. The score, I mean, look at that, 10 reds in a row. I mean, it just rarely happens. You can see here, it's showing 9, but when this bar closes, it'll be a 10. So it's almost like statistics are like way in your favor here. But I mean, if you look here, same thing. And then you look here, you had another one. It was just not giving up the pips. And so you can see here, you were down here and made a new low, failed to make a new low. You could have broken that lowest high for a trade. Let's see. Don't I have that on here? I guess I don't have that chart in this group. But look at here. We're through the ATRs. I mean, I think the ATR is 90 some pips. And we're at 37 pips on the day. It's just a lot of movement to the downside. And you can see here, price covered. And it covered that one, but there's a lot of, that's on M5, but just on this M30, there's just that one cover. There's an outside bar, broke that low. So once again, in these trades, when price moves against you, that's when you're really trading. Those actions you take, those are your trades. You can see here, price gap down. So I'd be looking for a signal to go long and for price to turn around and fill that gap. Okay, you can see here, 80 percentile. So you can pretty much consider that a return bar. Once again, you had an inside bar break to the high, an outside bar, and a break to the low. And you can see how this price action is just working the whole time. So, I mean, when you think about it, what actions do you take or can you take? Price moves against you, you can exit. Or let's see, if you set your stop loss, you can wait, let price hit your stop loss. Or depending on your position size, your stop loss may be far away, so you can add in, and then of course the stop loss will move up. And you can wait for your signals. I mean, right here, we had that lowest high, and price came down in that area. Some people would call an order block, the market profile traders. And as you can see here, had an opportunity to get back in. And if you jumped in right around the 3,500, you'd be up, what, 3 or 4 pips right now. And if you're smart and you take that quick trade, you would have been out. And you see here, bar 1 was 93 percentile, so that's a return bar. Price just about returned to that open. There it goes. Now we've got another return bar, and we'll see what happens. You know, back in the day, Airball and I, we used to just wait for these double O's in the 50s and just trade those crosses. I think back then we were probably trading the euro, if I remember correctly. I don't think we were trading the pound. So, definite return bar. So it got near that daily low. And and the funny thing is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for this H4 to go green and come back here because this is a return bar. But as you can see, it did not want to stay green. And you know, looking to the left, you can see right this area, this was resistance, and then resistance became support. So we'll have to see what happens this time around. So you got a flip-flop box here. So I want you to think about, you know, my new quote. Let me know if you agree, disagree, but you know, trading is the action you take when price moves against you. I might have to make a screen for that as a reminder because you can see here there's a flip-flop box. Take that trade, gave you a second opportunity to get in depending on your position size and your risk. Can you add in 2 or 3 times? And then that would bring your average down. And so right there could have been a possible 2 pips, I believe. If you would have gotten in somewhere around 98, 99, if you were in 2 trades there. And let's just say you had taken this flip-flop to the north. Well, there's a couple reasons you shouldn't have. Number one, it was closer to the 2 ball than it was to this used to be a 3 ball. So now you could have probably traded your way out of this mess. So, fellow traders, that 15 minutes went by really quick. Fastest 15 minutes in trading. So I hope everybody's having a good trading day out there. Tomorrow's FOMC, so beware. And when you're trading, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.